Hi, it's Jeannie. I've just arrived in Arizona. I just thought I'd jump on very quickly and do a quick live video. I know it's really late for the people over in the UK, so you can watch this back later. I'm in this beautiful hotel where the EDS Society conference is taking place in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm super excited to be here and to be presenting as well over the next 3 days. But I wanted to jump online. Somebody was asking me about travel information and travel tips to keep us moving when we're traveling for our hypermobile bodies, okay? Because traveling can be really, really stressful for anyone, but particularly for us, if you're on a plane or a train or in a car, it's really, really stressful sometimes. So I've just flown 10 hours and I had to keep moving while I was in the plane, because otherwise I'd arrive here and I'd feel absolutely awful. So my first tip is drink lots and lots of water, especially if you're on a flight. I don't drink any caffeine, don't drink any carbonated drinks. I only drink water, and I drink a lot of it while I'm on a flight. So that's my first tip. My second tip is I bought myself one of these. Now I'm a little late to the game, I know, because loads of you hypermobile people are probably way ahead of me. But I always wondered if it was worth getting one of these for the neck. I always see people with them in airports and I didn't really think it was worth it. But today I invested in one, so you put it around your neck. Oh my goodness, it's an absolute game changer. I was able to relax the muscles on my neck. So I was pretty stressed about this flight. It's my first flight in 3 years due to the pandemic. So I was pretty stressed about it, and I could feel the muscles around my occiput, so the base of my skull, getting really tight and really tense, and all these upper trapezius muscles getting really, really tense. So I popped this on straight away, pretty much. I've had it on for the whole 10 hours. And it just relieves so much pain. I was actually able to relax, and then I could focus on my breath and keeping those muscles relaxed. So if you don't have one of these, and I know some of you will probably travel with a proper neck brace as well anyway, and I can see the huge benefit of that, having just experienced this. It is so nice and comfortable. So if you don't have one, definitely get one next time you're traveling. So apart from that, what exercises do I recommend doing if you are traveling? So here's what I was doing on the flight. Now, obviously, when you're on a plane, you don't have a lot of space in economy. I was in an economy class seat for 10 hours, don't have a lot of room. So it's not like you can do big movements unless you want to hit your neighbor in the face, which isn't great. So kept it really small, but kept myself moving. So first thing we want to do, I'm just going to turn sideways, keeping those calf pumps working, keeping those ankle joints moving. So I was doing my pointing and flexing, okay? You don't have to obviously have your leg up here. I had it down here, and I was pointing and flexing, every half hour or so during the flight, just reminding myself to give myself a little bit of a calf pump, okay? This is really important for DVTs as well. So it keeps that calf pump working, helps keep the blood flow going. So if you're sitting on a long haul flight, please do your calf pumps, okay? And then of course I was doing my circles, okay? So I was doing the circles around and around. Great timing, first time traveling tomorrow after a few years. Excellent. I hope these are useful. So I was circling, obviously you do both legs, so we do our pointing and flexing. And as I say, you can do it down here, you just can't see me. So I'm pointing and flexing. Nobody around you needs to know what you're doing, so you don't look weird doing these sort of exercises. No one even knows. So these are a must. Every half hour or so, just keeps that circulation going, especially if you've got POTS, sitting down, the blood pooling in your legs. Let's keep it moving. Then of course you won't be able to see, but you can do your marching feet. So all I'm doing is lifting my heels up and down, just walking on the spot in my chair. Okay, so that's a really good one to do. Now, we often neglect the arms, but obviously we're carrying luggage, we're dragging luggage around. So I was also doing some gentle wrist circles. So I just interlaced my fingers and I was doing this just to keep my wrists and my forearms from tensing up, which is really nice. Okay, and then resting my hands on the thighs, just moving those shoulders, of course, because those are going to get really tight. I was carrying a rucksack, so just allowing those muscles to have a little bit of movement when you've been carrying or dragging your suitcase around. Okay, I did this as well. We had enough room to kind of do a small sort of upper arm rotation as well. So really nice, just getting that thorax moving as well. Okay, now what I also did, because I was checking these upper trap muscles, which, because I was a bit anxious about flying, they were quite tight. So again, this is just something I did. I kind of got hold of my skin and I could feel the muscles were quite tight. So it's not that I was pushing into them. I just gently let the weight of my arm go onto that trapezius muscle and kind of gave it a little bit of a, you know, a weightiness, and I could feel the hardness of the muscle under my fingers. And then I just closed my eyes and I just breathed into that area. So I focused my attention on this area. And as I exhaled, with the weight of my arm, it kind of encouraged me to soften these muscles. So again, it's a bit of visualization, a bit of melting of the shoulders. And you may actually feel that the tonality of the tissue changes under your fingertips. And then we do that on the other side. You can, I did this again a few times during the flight, just breathing and softening. Just letting those muscles relax a little bit. So a really nice one if you're someone like me who suffers a little bit from tension up here when you're a little bit anxious about things. Jaw obviously is another area. If you're anxious, you might be gripping the jaw. So I took one hand, I placed it here just below my ear, gently, and I mean gently, you know, don't hurt yourself, just gently drawing the fingers down the jaw. That's the direction of the muscle there. So you're following the muscle fibers. And again, it was really nice just to release that TMJ tension. Okay, so you do about, you know, 5 or 6 on each side. And you might notice, you know, a difference from one side to the other. Feels good, especially as I'm, you know, I think I've been awake since, coming on, I don't know, 4 a.m. in the UK, I don't know, it's 10 p.m. there now, so been on the go a long time, so muscles getting a little bit tired. So that's really nice to release your TMJ. Thank you for sharing. You're welcome, I hope they're useful. Now, a little bit of neck from side to side. So as I was saying earlier, if you've just joined, these are things you can do in your airplane seat, on a train, in the car. You don't have to look strange to other passengers. No one even pays attention to you. Okay, and then of course we can just lengthen. Try not to just drop the weight of your head. Think of lengthening the back of the neck to draw the chin down. So just finding a little bit of length through here. Obviously be careful if you've got any cervical instability, but it's just nice to lengthen the neck. But if you've got your head in this, it's really nice just to allow that to relax. Okay, brilliant. Now, kind of done my shoulders, done my legs. I also, what I was struggling with sitting in those hard seats, I have a Tarlov cyst on my pelvis as well, which is really painful for me to sit for any length of time. So I had to keep moving. So of course, we can do our little pelvic tilts. So I was just sitting, I kind of think of this as a cat, but a seated cat. So I interlaced my fingers and I was kind of round. If I turn sideways, you can see what I was doing. I was rounding the pelvis, so letting the weight of the pelvis drop back, and I was kind of drawing forward. Now I wasn't doing this and hyperextending my shoulders. Can you see I've got a big arch in my back? It was very gentle, so I was tilting the pelvis, rounding and just getting a bit of a lumbar stretch and a bit of a thoracic stretch, but not something that pulls your shoulders forward. Yeah, we're not hyperextending. So it's very soft. And then what I did is I let my heart lift a little to get a little bit of extension. So I rounded. You can look down as you do this. And then I lifted my heart and got a little bit of extension. Okay, so again, you can do this. I don't think anyone thought I was too strange doing this in my seat. But again, it really helped get rid of that tightness that we can get in that low back. You want to keep the even if you don't want to do the arms, and you can't do the arms for whatever reason, you can just do your pelvic tilts. Just keep that moving so that when you stand up after your flight or your train journey, your back hasn't stiffened up and we kind of get up and go, oh, my back really hurts. Okay, so I also kind of moved from side to side. So I did a little bit of a lateral tilting of the pelvis. So I was just kind of moving my spine laterally to again lengthen the side body. So again, really nice, keeps everything fluid so that when you stand up, you know, you don't feel stiff and uncomfortable. Okay, so a little bit of lateral flexion. And then I just put my hands here and did a little bit of rotation. Again, perfectly doable in your seat. Again, don't force it. Yeah, so just use your breath. Go to where you're able to go. We're not trying to increase our rotation. We're just trying to keep everything moving. Very nice. Okay. Now, of course, if you get up to go to the bathroom, the restroom on a flight, you can stand up at the back of the plane, or you can do this on the train. And if you're driving a long distance, whenever you stop for a rest break, you can do this, you know, in the car park next to your car. So of course I stood up. You can't see me now, but I was doing my heel raises in the back of the aeroplane, and I was walking on the spot. So just doing this. Again, you can easily do this in the back of the plane. Nobody's going to think anything of it. And I did a little bit of this, a little bit of marching legs as I walked. This one might have looked a little strange in the airplane, but you know, it's okay. As I walked back to my chair, I was kind of doing a little bit of marching feet. Again, if you can't lift your legs that high and you're just doing this, that's fine. Again, you're just getting that pumping action up the legs so that, again, you don't get those potsy feelings. And I think that was about it. But that kept me busy for 10 hours. And actually, I feel pretty good. I don't have any aches and pains at the other end, just fighting the jet lag. But I'll keep you posted on everything that happens on my social media at the conference. And if you're attending virtually, I hope to see you virtually at my presentations. Or if you're in person, I've already met a couple of people actually, so really great to see everyone here. So I hope those travel tips were useful. Thank you for watching, thank you for joining, and I'll see you next week for our proper YouTube live. We're talking feet actually. So join me for our Thursday evening, not this Thursday, that's tomorrow. The following Thursday, 5 p.m. UK time, we're talking feet, all things feet and foot pain and gait and lower leg in general. So I will say goodbye for now. Thank you for this impromptu YouTube live. Thank you all for watching, and I hope that helps with your fourth or upcoming summer holiday travels. Thank you everyone. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.